melee champions alongside you. They're all getting that move speed. You're hitting people with Ricochet. And I think the other thing I will add to that is that Sivir plays mid waves way better than a champion like Jhin. I think you do have kind of that infinite wave clear. Regretting the buy now, you know, you go Swifties to obviously be able to shrug off some of the slows coming through from the Electro Harpoons and to really be able to punish, but they could easily dive this, I think. I think he has pretty much no chance to get out.
Early subjugate possible from ensues. There he goes as they look for Driver under the tower. No escape. Alvaro tanks it perfectly, and MCOY on the board.
Nicely done by MCOY. They really punished Driver. Over-aggressive on the teleport TP angle, and we'll see if they even want to fight this, because they are a little bit late to show up, and it's going down pretty quick.
Yeah, first grab already gone here for Ginger. Alvaro and Super trying to come across. Driver is there to defend, as are Kaiwing and Doggo. ensues on the red buff right now. Super was looking for the steal with the Boomerang Blade, but can't find it. CFO seem to be happy with just getting the objective.
As you say, that objective feat is going to be taken, but not going to be able to get the Void Might spawn, which is always really nice to be able to add in.
The stack is always important. Even if you scale evenly with your opposition, you just don't want to give them opportunities to force you into a fight if you don't want to take it. And by getting the second Drake, you make sure that CFO can't force you into a soul point fight too early. Jojo coming across, the TPs come out from Hongq down towards that bottom side. Kaiwing with the Sun, True Shot Barrage going out as well as Ginger looks at the smite but can't get it. Hongq looking for the flank here as Jojo goes forward, flashes away from CFO. Ginger in with the Crescent Guard and they dive onto ensues, but ensues heals so much with the Subjugate and survives by flashing out. MCOY on the retreat, but CFO won't find anything more. Alvaro looking for those gank paths, but great vision control from CFO. ensues going down towards bot as Driver no longer has a flash of his own. Does have the Unstoppable Onslaught and can just walk away for now. Ginger coming across. Unstoppable Onslaught goes in. ensues is going to get knocked up with the Decimating Smash. Subject coming out as well as ensues has no flash, but look at him bonking down Ginger. Crescent Guard comes out. Ginger in the middle of his own ultimate will survive. Base seal from Jojo Pun. Ginger flashes away. Jojo flashes back, but Driver gets the double.
Get that lethal tempo, I think, stacked up as it looked like he had, and was just whacking away, but couldn't actually quite get the kill. Jojo was going in for that initial trade with a Soul Unbound. That expires. ensues is still kind of in there briefly by himself in the 1v2. You know, it's just in slow-mo.
Their reaction speeds are just out of this world. It's like the Flash trying to...
No, the reactions are actually really slow. It's just the game's even slower.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Explains why I've never got past Master.
Exactly. You're not playing on the pro mode.
Exactly.
It was slow-mo like that. That missing flash, and maybe a bit of an overcommitment there, you know, from ensues. He kind of stand and fought, and Jojo obviously there to try to back him up. Is going to be able to just snap back. We'll see if he can actually chase after him, though.
Jojo's just dead! The Fate Seal, I believe, was still a second off cooldown. Didn't quite come up, and great play from Hongq. Solar Flare's going to land onto Alvaro, who pops the Unbreakable Will, flash away from the Zenith Blade, but still caught by it. Super's now running for the hills as Kaiwing continues to chase him. The Ignite down into the Flash Shield of Daybreak. Wind becomes Lightning. Ginger looking for it, but ensues killed off Kaiwing. Hongq coming in from the side as well as ensues tries to get away. He's going to have to flash. Alvaro forced back to the base as well. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Driver is absolutely decimating Mirwin, even with the Equalizer down. The roar of the Slayer and the Soul Furnace. Driver brings down the axe and gets the solo bolo.
Nicely played by Driver, waiting out the scrap shield there, cancels his auto, so he's not spending that damage into the shield. As soon as it expires, goes forward, knocks him down. They even have the Herald in the mid lane. CFO is getting out of control now in this game one, playing with tempo so incredibly well. Look at top lane also. Hongq is already ahead. He's going to get a tier 2 solo gold off of this. No one is even moving to respond from MCOY. Instead, they're going to head towards the dragon here, but it's only the second dragon, and CFO is going to get monstrously up in gold.
They're dazed. MCOY are on the ropes right now. They're trying to find anything they can on the map, but CFO are just landing jab after jab. Driver's going to step in here, doesn't have the Unstoppable Onslaught. Jojo jumps onto Ginger. The Dragon secured, base seal as well, even with the Crescent Guard down, Ginger's going to die. Kaiwing looking for the flank position here as Hongq's going to TP in. Mirwin's coming in with his own teleport, but doesn't have the Equalizer. Doggo jumps across the wall and has to do Arcane Shift away. Hongq looking for that flank. Solar Player flashed away from... Hongq needs to be a little bit careful. Decimating Smash hitting the Zenith Blade just short. The Rhylights from Hongq is going to get the slows down, but MCOY will be able to retreat as by.
One's going to be able to answer him bot. It's more solo gold here given over to Hongq. He is getting ridiculously far ahead. The Soul Laners making all the difference so far in these early minutes of game one.
Let's try and take away this Artican.
Kaiwing.
Doggo jumps in. KaiWing on a good flank position, and Hongq dives in immediately with the solar flare coming out. Jojo is deceased, and now Alvaro might suffer the same fate. Hongq looking for that flank, isn't going to go for it. Alvaro has to pop the ultimate, and CFO will get the kill and get the Altacan as well.
Yeah, just great vision control, great placement here from KaiWing, you know, sitting over. It is this ward that really kind of made all the difference up on that top side. You know, he sees Jojo approaching, he's in that side brush, they control the vision, he goes immediately in, Hongq's there to follow up, no chance for Jojo to get anything done.
Through that spell shield from the Sivir, the Drake's going to be secured by CFO. Second of the game, Chem Soul is the name of the game in this one. And, I mean, will really help with later game fights if you have that extra damage reduction. Then
for Alvaro.
Yeah, I mean, Alvaro has been an absolute beast this MSI, but even this might be a little bit of a road too far as he jumps onto Driver, equalize onto Doggo as well. There's a trample stun as they try and turn it around, but with the unstoppable onslaught, Driver's able to distract MCOY. Should be able to pick up the Scion here. He puts the shield down in the end. Super still chasing, will get the shutdown. 800 gold in his back pocket.
There you go, Preda Alvaro comes over the wall there, is able to help turn it around. And now they can even push forward here, maybe take the tier 1 off the back of that. And just like that, the gold lead becomes much more manageable. We were talking about 5K, now it is under 3K here. MCOY
game, but can still do a lot of work on the backline as Hongq and Driver are going to start up this Baron.
Yeah, and they haven't spotted this yet. Junja is showing on mid lane intentionally, and KaiWing is trying to zone them out, say, hey, we're not on it, but it is going to be spotted now.
Alvaro goes in, KaiWing stunned up. And look for the solar flare turnaround, good double knock, and Fate Seal's going to land onto 3 as well. The equalizer comes down, and it's super untouched so far through this fight. Alvaro trying to get onto the back line. It's a double for Mir when his Driver falls. True Shot Barrage not going to do too much as MCOY is still very healthy. Junja, Hongq, and Doggo have to try and hold on to this because otherwise MCOY will be looking at that Baron very greedily.
Get themselves into a position where they're losing a lot of HP to that Baron. Hongq was already missing a third of his HP. KaiWing was posturing so aggressively, and he just goes down without...
Alvaro chunked out a little bit. Baron down to 10,000. Jojo not here, currently sitting on the blue buff. He's going to teleport across as he secures that for MCOY, but that Baron's down to 6,000 HP. Jojo looking for that base seal, doesn't have it for a while. Alvaro goes in, doesn't get the knock-up, and Alvaro's down. Doggo gets the kill. Junja still sitting on that Baron. It's only at 5,000 HP though. Fate Seal about to come back up in 9 seconds time. Equalizer still available. Subjugate still available. On the hunt, coming back off cooldown as well as Alioya steps up, but Doggo untouched so far. Driver's been subjugated as Jojo Pyun looks for the Scion. Baron secured. Fate Seal onto the back line. The Equalizer doing a little bit of work on the KaiWing as Junja now dashes in. Crescent Guard coming out. Junja will survive through it. Mirwin knocked up with a decimating smash, and Doggo comes in for his second kill of the fight. It's Hongq actually secures it in the end. MCOY forced away the Baron for CFO. CFO can just walk right into this base. MCOY now 5,000 gold behind after only a couple of minutes ago being within 2K. They're going to lose an inhibitor on this bottom side. MCOY will try and defend through mid, but the tier 2 at least is gone as Driver raises it to the ground. A 6,000 gold lead.
Slam into the pillar and stop, but yeah, he just bounced off that thing like a pinball.
Fast and Furious 2, I believe that one. Was it 3 was Tokyo Drift? I can't remember.
Man.
One of them.
Hit the nos and
it's about family, that's all that matters.
Family.
Okay? As CFO will make this dragon their family. 6 Drakes taken so far in this game.
Making it their family if they killed it. Much of an issue for him as long as he
vision.
has. Oh, he's
jump swords, Doggo misses everything, and the solar flare connects. Alvaro's going to try and save his mid lane, who has to flash away. The damage goes down onto Doggo and Driver, and you can see what the Ricochet can do here. Junja goes in with the Crescent Guard, looking for Hongq here. Has that Emperor's Divide, Equalizer back down. Jojo going back in. Alvaro knocks Hongq back, and he just delivers them. Here you go, CFO. 4 coins on a silver platter. Jojo the last man standing, but Hongq just sweeps them away.
Alvaro betrays the team there. Thought he had a pick onto Hongq, but just ends up delivering him onto the head of Supa. Thank you very much. He'll take the ultimate, and he's going to take game 1 as well.
Some delicious sushi there for the Flying Oysters. Pretty dominant performance all round from the LCP's #1 seed. MCOY left rattled, left battered and bruised as CFO have shown they're not here to lose, they're here to play.
Fire on Jojo, third item. I mean, standard just Royal Lich, rapid fire, throw out that gold guard. In comes the Caitlyn Q, in comes the Karma Q, in comes Lee Sin Q, and just constantly poking and prodding in that way.
More than anything. Doesn't even pop the cripple part of the E, that Tempest cripple. Junja, though, a magical journey to the bot lane as Alvaro flashes away. Super trying to get away as well, but a good Ishtar's impact. The root blocked there by Super. Alvaro will fall first, and now Super needs to get the hell out of here. Does still have a flash of his own. Doggo flashes, fourth shot to the back. Super and Alvaro fall. Yes.
And then Supa trying to survive, but we're going back to live.
Prison's going to hit. There's the Ishar's impact as well for the suppression. TP coming in from MCOY as they try and save Alvaro. Alioya jumps across the wall, and now Junja is in for a world of hurt. He'll fall. MCOY on the board as Mirwin.
No one is answering top lane right now, so that is Doggo that is getting this farm up on that top side, trying to catch up as far as the CS is concerned with Supa. And just, you can see, he's very slowly pushing this out. It will eventually stack and push away, but he's going to deny probably an entire wave.
Destiny in onto Honkyu. The Rune Prison comes out as well, but Mirwin gets the kill. Ishar's impact is going to take him back underneath the tower. Has to try and flash away. Junja puts him in the dirt, and Jojo Pyun will be able to walk away. A 1-for-1 exchange. CFO will get the feat of warfare.
They're crashing the wave. Yes, it is just a trade of summoners and things like that. They're looking for Jojo, though. They're going to be TPing in as well with the Bard.
Junja and Honkyu coming in, and the Stand United is everything invested to make sure that Jojo's done for. Buried on home soil, Jojo goes down.
The Avengers assemble. 4 members from CFO show up. It's a TP from the Bard. It's the Shen ultimate. It's the Realm Warp with 2. 4 members just materialize on your screen, knock down your mid laner, and now they're over here trying to take down these grubs. Alioya looking to see if there's an angle to steal one away.
He already got the first one, so this would be the second for MKOI if they can get it, and they do manage to sneak it away in the face of CFO. CFO on Doggo, who's picked up those 2 kills. And so he's about 500 gold ahead. As Junja's caught out a little bit here. Alvaro looking for that tether, will land it. Super takes a bit of a chunk, but so does Junja. Down to half HP. Temper Fate coming out. Super decides to flash it with Doggo coming in from the side. Honkyu flashes forward. There's the Stand United. Alioya looking for the kick away. Can't get it in time. And with the curtains opening, the public execution is a little bit too late onto Doggo. Mirwin dashing onto that backline. Doggo flashes away. Alvaro forced down towards the bottom side. Now Mirwin's in the middle of Junja and Kaiwing. The flash forward with the Cosmic Binding isn't going to connect, so Mirwin will take 1. Alvaro coming in and has the shields as well with that Inspire. Alvaro now needs to run though. Rooted up with the Rune Prison. Destiny comes out from Jojo. Gold card locked in. Honkyu slowed up, and MKOI will turn the fight around.
Looks for him, but he's going to get avoided. And then finally, Jojo does arrive and gets a kill. On the back end of that play, CFO do grab the dragon, but nicely done there by MKOI.
Temper Fate again. There's the Shadow Dash for the taunt. Deadly Flourish coming out as well. Jojo has to flash away. And will manage to survive. It's a race for the first tower as well.
About that, getting additional gold here onto the Caitlyn. Still good aggressive play from CFO in the mid lane. It was a nice sidestep on the Bard ultimate. You know, gets the Karma move speed from the shield, able to backstep, avoid that, but
get the McHale's off immediately. Captain Jacket, or you can even McHale's yourself with a tiny window just beforehand, because it takes a little bit of time to cast. Driver's going to be able to get the tower on the bottom side. MKOI posturing around this Rift Herald, down to 3,000 HP. Junja trying to step in range for the smite. Destiny comes out, Junja steps forward. There's the stun card, and Alioya will secure the Rift Herald and the boots for MKOI.
Something really interesting there. So Mirwin was playing off vision that entire time. He was basically sitting in this area right here trying to hide. And I think what he was hoping was that CFO would fully commit to the fight, and then he would jump in and surprise, I'm already here, be able to turn around.
Chases Driver out of this jungle as well. Junja will be able to come across. He flashes forward for the Ishtar's impact. There's the Impale as well. And look at the damage on Alioya. Snap! Have the teleport currently on this Twisted Fate. Running the heal and the flash. Alvaro flashes immediately away from Honkyu. But the chase continues as Junja finds his man in the jungle. Alvaro with a great mantra there to get a little bit of extra health back. Super tries to open up on Honkyu. And now the collapse begins for MKOI. Stand United coming out as Honkyu steps forward onto Mirwin. Mirwin flashes away himself. Jojo's here. Gold card locked in. Temper Fate hits 2. Junja looking for the Ishtar's impact. Oh, everything mistimed. The Impale too slow. The dash in too fast. MKOI are going to look for more as they get the kickback. Public execution onto the backline. MKOI begin to turn the tides in the fight. Flash forward from Super. Immediately into Driver who lands the taunt. Junja tries to open up but can't get close enough. Super able to get away across the wall. The chase onto Junja continues. Alioya so deep though. And the rest of MKOI unable to back him up. Alvaro caught with a deadly flourish. The curtains open looking for Super. Can't bind him as he steps out of the back of the range.
Not able to actually grab that last kill. Really messy fight though, back and forth. Looked like it was going to be really positive for MKOI, and then CFO, they hit this great Bard ulti, and you're thinking, uh-oh, MKOI is going to get cooked here. But Kaiwing throws out the binding way too early. The Impale is not there. You know, everything missed time from CFO. Opportunity here, but wards are on it.
There's a great TP ward for Driver in that Tribush as well. MKOI are going to teleport in Jojo Pyun. Otacon already down to 7,000 HP. Honku trying to get in here as well. Ginger might be too late to get here. Ishtal's impact going forward, looking for the smite, but kicked away. Now they'll turn onto Honku. Public execution down onto him, rooted up as well by the Yordle Snapchat. He'll fall. MCOY need to retreat out of the curtain calls. Alvaro takes the first shot, Jojo the second and the third. Driver trying to step in, looking for that shadow dash. Mirwin waiting in the bush, seeing if he can find an engage. Driver dashes away with the taunt, and MCOY will back away.
Nicely done, MKOI, getting that bit of pressure all off of this failed dive onto Supa.
Joe Pyun is just behind the team right now, does have the Destiny. If he wants to go in, will land the gold card. You can see the extra range from the rapid fire cannon there, helping out. Tempered Fate hits two, though. As Supa needs to get out of here, taunted immediately. Junjo on the chase as well, and Supa has no recourse to survive. Next up is Mirwin, rooted up. The Mikhail's too late. The Ishtal's impact into the Impale. Alyoya dashes in, but immediately is Shadow Dash taunted. CFO find two curtains open. Jojo takes one, takes two. Alvaro able to get out to the side, but Jojo's going to fall for it. Kaiwing chasing his opposite man with the Realm Orb coming out. He's sent to the Shadow Realm. CFO with a clean ace.
That's massive for CFO. I mean, not only to get a 5-for-0 ace, they're going to get Baron, they're going to get Dragon, they're going to move to Soul Point here. That is huge. And just like that, they blow the game open. Well, maybe not the Dragon, as it looks like Dragon has hands, as Shen finds out, unfortunately. But they will still be able to take down the Baron. And it all was off of these small differences. Alvaro did not have his Mikhails at the start of that fight. It was a couple seconds on cooldown. And now open up an absolutely enormous lead here. They will eventually get back to that Dragon and take that as well. Being on Mountain Soul Point is really problematic when you're already behind.
Especially on, it's a relatively low damage composition coming out from MCOY. When you're in this spot, you only have a 2-item AD carry. Mirwin almost caught, has to flash. Serpent's Fang on Mirwin as well to try and get through some of the shields that are happening on CFO. That's Stand United, obviously one of them. Rise getting shields as well. Driver's going to be able to push through the mid lane. Goes in with the taunt. Alyoya with the kickback. Dragon's Rage underneath the tower. Driver surviving for an absolute age, and we talk about no damage, and there it is. Driver will go down. The curtains open as Ginger goes in with the Impale. They'll find one in answer. It's Alvaro falling. Magical Journey away from Ginger. Destiny going in as well as Jojo Pyun looks for them, but he goes too deep and has to flash himself. CFO are unrelenting in their pressure here. Honku flashes forward, can't quite land the spell flux, but the Realm Orb's there for the chase, and Doggo's barking. He jumps back in as Mirwin's looking for the engage, but he's knocked into the wall, and what can he do? In the face of 4 of CFO, this might just be game.
It's looking like it. Doggo knocks down another one there. They are going to pull back, though. They do have some low health bars. Driver got very aggressive, goes to the taunt flash in the 1v3. Is not able to make anything happen, but he does at least get Mikhails out. He buys a lot of time for the rest of the team to come over, and CFO with this gold leader is just so confident to continue the fight here, posturing so aggressively. We saw very many summoners getting used, and now they're looking for Jojo. They're just TPing.
He steps forward immediately, TP. There's the Tempered Fate as well. Kaiwing teleported in with the Unsealed Spellbook to hit the Tempered Fate, and CFO are not giving MCOY a moment to breathe. It's fine. Use your front line. There's the redemption, back to full HP. The inhibitor tower goes down. Baron about to expire on them, but they can just push forward for the inhibitor because MCOY still don't have their mid laner for 20 seconds.
Yeah, CFO electing to just kind of back off right now, though. Honku has no ult, has no TP. Explosive X Factor is Alyoya, so it falls squarely on his shoulders.
The captain of the team rebuilt it around him.
He's behind them.
As he is behind them on that flank position. The Dragon secured by Honku in just a moment's time. Has that Realm Warp. That's why he's been left to his own devices down there. Will be Soul for CFO. There we go. He secures it. Driver looking in. TP coming out from Honku as Jojo Pyun will land the stun across the wall, but Ginger's already onto towards the back line. Driver's taken no damage as of yet. Mirwin trying to dance around. Honku goes very deep though, but there's the Stand United, there's the shield, there's the Seraphs! The angel on his shoulder keeps him alive. Alvaro forced away, and Honku just jumped into the middle of MCOY, survived. Driver TPs into the base. MCOY, they had one last roll of the dice, but it's coming up Snake Eyes.
Not going to be able to do anything there. Honku knows his strength, pairs up with Driver, and they are on the march to take down this game.
Alyoya's going to try and defend, but he's the only one left standing for MCOY alongside Alvaro, who might die as the collapse from CFO can just come in. The inhibitor does respawn in the mid lane. There's Doggo. 10-0-8. His bite is worse than his bark. And CFO pushing. Elioya trying to defend, but what can he do against all of CFO? 1 game away from glory here for Apex. CFO are flying high.
Otherwise, what is your CC? You're waiting for a Fear Tether to proc the Plasma so that Kaisa can go into the back line? It just wouldn't make sense. So it's going to be very interesting. 2 teams playing 2 very different styles.
Stacked here onto Rest. Doesn't have another Blade Surge to work with, but Rest forced back once again. Yorick does have a few innate tools for sustain. Last right giving you a bit of health back as Jojo taken out. Thought he could escape with the flash, but the 3-fold Hex just follows him.
Jojo just admitting the mistake, but MCOY looking for a dive here. Rest in trouble.
Yeah, slammed into the wall. There's the flawless duet to follow up, and Elioya on the board. MKOI get there first. Mirwin gets a plate. We'll get him to safety. Goes invisible. Doesn't have to burn the flash, which I think is really what MKOI were looking for there, just trying to even out that summoner spell disadvantage. Honku flashes in, though, and Jojo's dead again! That's not optimal, but Honku is absolutely slapping. Elioya comes in, will put the hammer down and get a kill in response, but Honku in the 1v1 is just destroying Jojo. Tether is enough to keep Super safe. He was actually positioning up because that plate was about to fall on the top side, so he wanted to get the gold from it. Elioya now coming down towards the bottom side. Rest does have his flash available, puts down the cage, but I don't think Rest is able to escape from this. Meanwhile, on the top side, Alvaro and Jojo Pyun are still fighting. Jojo Pyun down to a 3rd HP as Rest falls on the bottom side. Able to escape. Kaiwin and Honku coming up on top in the mid lane.
Pumping out the damage, positioning well. He is just such a talent, and really is so fun to actually watch him. And Emily was just telling me about an interview that he had given where he was saying this MSI is so important to him because it felt like it was the first time that he had earned it himself, you know, actually getting there himself. Of course, he had subbed in before in the past on loan for another team, but this is, you know, him earning his trip here and really wants to perform well to show that, hey, you know, I deserve to be here amongst the best in the world.
I think there's a lot of people as well who have only watched him in the LPL as the paranoia goes down onto Mirwin, who has no flash and no escape from this. Rest gets the shutdown.
Side as we saw that Rest went back to base, you know, wanted to heal back up, get a buy. And Mirwin, as a result, was able to continue farming plates on that tower. And MKOI now are first onto this dragon. Genja's on the side, though, and Honku's moving over as well, so it could be a potential for a fight.
It might just be a fight afterwards. There's the paranoia coming out. Smite goes in from Elioya. Seismic shove shielded by Ginger. Doggo and Kaiwing things off. First item complete as well for Super and for Jojo Pyun. It's the Archangels and the Yuntal Wind Arrows. First items across the board actually for both teams as MKOI set up around the Rift Herald. Kaiwing looking for that flank position. Prey Seeker's going to come out as Doggo tries to connect, but the Rift Herald is secured by MKOI. Alongside it, those upgraded boots.
Yeah, and Genja had no ultimate, so you're pretty much never going to look for a fight, you know, in that position. Nocturne without ult in a team fight is just so useless, and Rest just going to tank up this damage and knock down the tower. It is incredibly low, so we'll be able to finish that off. Nicely done by him. Both of them, honestly, you know, Honku just drops the ult, clears out the wave, runs away from the dive, so they have to walk through the tower. And that buys his support time to get there. They're looking for a dive on bot side.
Paranoia onto Mirwin. The Fear Tether's going to connect as well as Rest flashing forward, but they can't quite kill him. Doggo comes in with a killer instinct and will take out Mirwin. Meanwhile, there's a dive onto Honku. The tower's not going to stand for much longer. Mirwin gets the kill. Super down towards this bottom side has got one in response. Doggo's already dead as alongside Rest. So Jojo dies at bot. Mirwin gets a kill at top. Super picks up 2 in the end on the bot lane.
Yeah, that is really big. Super going to be able to grab a couple kills, and they're going to drop the Herald mid here now. So you're going to be able to charge this one in. Maybe finish this off as well. It's just the support in the area, so should be able to finish it off. More gold going the way of MKOI. Over 3,000 gold ahead. Going to be able to get a second charge in also. And Kaiwing's getting low. He's got to be careful.
Yeah, pops the heal.
I feel like a Bloodthirster popping up
Start in the game. It's a free Bloodthirster. It's the only way I think I'd be able to beat most of the players here. Between worlds from Honku, he's going to look to try and dash away, but can't get to the edge of the ring. Alvaro still chasing. Elioya looking for the keeper's verdict, doesn't connect. Honku jumps back with the weirding, but in the end will fall to Super, who's now 3-0 with a 1.4k gold lead.
Yeah, nicely done. CFO, though, in the area, thinking about looking for an engage.
Paranoia. Ginger goes in onto Super, who doesn't have the Feather Storm. The tower will fall. The dash in is stopped by the Steadfast Presence, but the Charm's still going to connect. The shutdown with the Grand Entrance. Alvaro now on the front line as Doggo begins to open up. Elioya doing what he can. Jojo coming in from the side as well. Ginger's going to fall. MKOI turn it around and get 2 kills in response.
Nicely done. Are able to knock down that tower there too. And Mirwin now pushing through mid lane here. He's got his second item, and Rest is going to have to be careful, but Kaiwing is in the area.
Yeah, Weaver's wall though. Mirwin just has to survive for a couple of seconds. Kaiwing dashes away, but but the chase comes in from Mirwin. Kaiwin will fall, TP in from Hongq. He's lost his support, though, alongside his top laner. This game 3 of the best of 5. The domination that CFO had in the first 2 games, a not too distant memory, and we've seen MCOY take a few fights in Game 1 and Game 2 that have swung things in CFO's favor. So it's not all done yet, but they are in prime position to close this one out and take us at least to a Game 4. Paranoia coming out. So we see Mirwin trying to dash forward. Flawless duet doesn't land the stun. TP coming out from Alvaro to try and protect. It's going to be a 4v2, but Mirwin looking to take down 2 before they get in the quickness in time. Ginger will die to the tower shot as Alvaro tries to retreat. He remounts, was looking for Hongq but couldn't find him. And there's the knockup with the grand entrance. Kaiwing tanking it well. Alvaro down to Doggo. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Elioya, Jojo, and Super are pushing in. Rest doesn't have the flash, but the stun doesn't connect against the wall. The keeper's verdict, though, will keep him in place. And Super brings back the daggers to get the kill.
Good proactive play on the top side there from CFO, but it just doesn't really matter because MCOY, again, getting a play back on the bot side, getting a kill back on the top side, taking down the tier 2 as well.
An extra safety blanket that MCOY needed to make sure that they can secure it. They'll get the Artican,
which makes getting vision a lot more difficult. That's why Alvaro is going so deep for that vision. You need wards in your opponent's jungle, not even just your own, but they're going to go for an age.
Paranoia coming out. The Weaver's Wall has been popped. Super trying to join the party here as Elioya's on the front line. Between worlds, doesn't matter. MCOY just assassinate too. Hongq looking to survive, but he's locked up against the wall. Jojo hits him with a threaded volley, and Super brings back the feathers to secure the double. Alvaro looking for the flank onto Doggo, who has the killer instinct and will be able to dash his way away. 15 seconds time would be sole point for MCOY. Elioya going in here, trying to steal away this blue. The Weaver's Wall will separate CFO. Paranoia coming out from Ginger, but he's on the wrong side of dodge, and he'll be taken out, slammed into that Weaver's Wall. Jojo secures the kill, and now with the jungler down, Baron becomes a little bit of an option.
Being reactive, right? It's MCOY now that are on the front foot. It's them that are playing much more aggressive with this gold lead, as you want to see them do, and they're working in towards this soul now.
Already used. We'll be back up in about 7 seconds time. TP coming out from Rest as he looks to join the frame. Irwin's in the mid lane. CFO trying to get in, but it's secured by Elioya. Alvaro dashes onto the back line. Kaiwing already down, and I think that will be all for the fight. MCOY managed to secure the objective. The Weaver's Wall coming out, though. Elioya has other ideas as he dashes in onto Hongq. Magnetstorm on Hongq means that he can't escape between worlds. Jojo still looking for more. Ginger lands the Fear Tether onto Alvaro, but the stun still connects, and the Shroud of Darkness won't be enough to save him from Elioya. MCOY now looking greedily at getting a game in this series.
And I think they're going to do just that. It doesn't look like there's much that CFO can do about it. It's just Doggo going to try to defend here with Rest, but MCOY are pushing, and they are looking for the first win.
Kaiwing goes in, gets the double knockup. The Blades are called back. Super, though, will kill off Kaiwing. Vanguard's edge in from Mirwin. Doggo having to flash away. He'll get 2 on the fountain. Jojo, Super, and Alvaro, though, should still be able to clean this one up. Super flashing forward, and with the Blade caller, he'll find his opposite man. MCOY show there's still life in EU yet as they get a game versus CFO.
And it is paired with some really early game and aggressive picks. So it is kind of interesting. You know, sometimes people will talk about drafts like that and they'll say, well, that's your late game insurance, right? Like that's your win condition in the late game.
A little bit further back because of the threat of Ginger.
Yeah, they absolutely did. But I mean, CFO's bot lane played it out really, really well. Yep. You know, utilizing the additional sniper range in those early autos, constantly poking away at Supa, you know, keeping him pushed in. And as a result, it's been very difficult here for Supa and Alvaro. We'll have to see, you know, when you hit 6, sometimes you can find an all-in that just kind of turns things around.
From Elioya available, but don't really want to jump onto the Pantheon without the rest of your team there to follow up. Grubs up. Jojo's ultimate still yet to come off cooldown. Arcane Storm used by Hongq to clear out the wave in mid. Elioya's going for it. Cease and desist. Ginger's immediately going to stun him up. The handshake coming out as well as Hongq has a couple of spears in his back, and Super needs the rend. He finds it. Alvaro survives the last tower shot, and MCOY on the board.
Not kind of expecting that at this point. And we'll just be going for heavy scaling. This driver's going to take a fight.
Goes all out onto Mirwin. Slice and Dice has already been used. Mirwin does still have his flash, but so does Driver if he wants to follow up. Mirwin, he took the fight. Ruthless Predator for the stun across the wall. Elioya can come and join it. Gets the knock-up on the Driver, who flashes away, but the flash chase is there. Driver trying to survive through this. Kaiwing almost there, almost in range to get him out. The hook just short of hitting Mirwin, but the follow-up from Doggo is superb. CFO turn the fight around.
Yeah, Doggo gets in there with the flash, able to finish him off, grabbing that kill. That is big. Plus 20 CS, it's plus a kill. It's all 1,000 gold almost here for Doggo. And he's going to get this first tower here quite easily, you have to think. They're up 2K at 12 minutes in.
And they've taken all of the neutral objectives as well. 3 grubs, 2 drakes, CFO in such a strong position here. MCOY have been left reeling, and they're trying to get things back on the map, but as you can see, like, their early game pressure.
Probably going to try to save it here for that next dragon and maybe try to make a big impact there. One of the things you can do is really put the pressure on the Asol and try to force them to use that ultimate.
Cease and desist onto Honkyu, who puts down the gravity well, will land the double stun, but doesn't get out of it in time. Ginger now. Oh, flash from Elioya, just short of catching Ginger. Smites exchanged, so they both look for the slow. TP coming in behind here as the Falling Scar was used in the mid lane. Alvaro looking for Kaiwing and Doggo. I think it was just an engage.
Get a kill on the top side. They knock down Honkyu. Mirwin not feeling confident to actually step out of the brush. Doesn't know if anyone's behind him, so he's just going to watch the tower fall.
Also, the risk of the Grand Starfall always there from the Pantheon, can just jump in, especially when the tower is low. He jumps in, autos the tower, and then you're in a 2v1 without the safety of your turret.
It's about those interactions, but still, they get the flash off him. They're putting pressure on Honkyu. This is the way that MKOI have said, this is how we're going to come back in the game. Force the Victor out to the side lanes, obviously not a very mobile champion, and then prey on him with that vibe. That is your ability to try to pick someone off, to constantly create opportunities. But at the same time, if you show up this far behind with no empowered Asol ult, it is really, really tough.
Flank attempt here by MCOY. Elioya goes in. Doggo flashes away from the cease and desist range early. Jojo joining the fray. There's the cease and desist onto Honkyu. The Sun follows up. Super and Alvo chasing in as Doggo unleashes with the Severum Crescendum, but he's taken out. Elioya falls as well. Ginger's the one to get the kill. Super with the bailout on him. It expires, and Ginger can't quite get the damage. The spear off to the side. Alvo's going to get chased out by Honkyu. Mirwin flashing forward across the wall, looking for the stun there as well. Alvo surviving. Jojo trying to rejoin the fray. Mirwin will take one. The Astral flight forward as Kaiwing flashes to safety as well. Riftheld will get the charge into mid. The tower will go over to CFO, but MCOY have shown a brief sign of life.
I mean, that is huge. They're able to get a lot of kills there. They get both the summoners off of Doggo and get the kill. Brett is still there. Doggo has the IE now as well, and he is right back to pushing.
Yeah, you're still not in the game. You are still massively behind as MCOY. You need another couple of fights like that if you're going to get back into it. Great for Super that he picked up the shutdown goal, but it's still a massive lead for Doggo. Falling Star coming out from Jojo. Astral Flight will get him across the wall and out of Driver's clutches. The mid lane tier 2 very low here for MCOY. They've already lost the tier 2. The skies descend. Really a game changer in a fight like this, but Alvaro's already down to half HP. Look how far Doggo is back from the team. That's the safety of his tower there. Astral Flight forward from Jojo, trying to get onto Honkyu, gets the knock-up. Elioya down to half HP though. Ginger dashes back in onto Super. Alvaro with a hostile takeover is going to land it, but not onto Doggo, and that's the key target. Mirwin with the Dominus looking for the flank position, but he can't find it, so MKOI have to disengage. Honkyu still chasing and can't quite get the damage in. There's the stopwatch, but here comes the Grand Starfall. The bailout enough to bring Jojo back, but Doggo has a Moonlight Vigil, and he's sending MKOI to the grave. The dash in is not enough for Mirwin as CFO come out on top.
MCOY tried to force it here. They bet their game on a battle over the Otacon with the empowered Asol ultimate, but they cannot make it work. They lose multiple members here. 3 fall down. They lose the Otacon.
Dress and a Mikhail's and a Pantheon and a Cassante in front of him. He'll take the tier 2 tower in the mid lane. They push Mirwin back. Driver just clearing out waves down towards this bottom side.
Flanking position here, but MKOI may just get pincered.
Driver could just all out onto Super. Does have that up, but no flash for him. Mirwin forced away towards the top side. CFO take control over the Dragon. Elioya goes in, only onto Kaiwing. Doggo still untouched. Mirwin looking for the flank position. The Falling Star comes down. The hostile takeover is going to hit on Doggo, but immediately cleanses away, and Super's already down. Driver on the back line doing so much work here. Elioya with the bailout, can't kill off Ginger. And there's the soul. And the soul of EU is ripped right out of their very bodies. CFO cleaning up the fight and looking for the Grand Starfall to make it the ace. Comet Spear just wide. Ginger can't see over the wall. Mirwin with the slice and dice. Kaiwing with a lantern flash, and Mirwin will not be allowed to survive.
It is a clean ace, and the question is, what more can they go for? Elioya critically during the bailout stole the Dragon, so Soul did not go over, but still 5 for 0 here. They're going to crack the base as well. CFO are looking incredibly strong. Trying to get back in, find a way to win a fight without their key ultimates.
Jojo showing on the bot wave as well. Would have to teleport up here. They're going to go for the battle. Elioya trying to go the long way around to look for a steal. There it goes. The smite secures it. Junja will get the Baron for CFO.
There's no wards in this whole section for MCOY, so even after they're able to actually have this spawn, how do they get over there? How do they actually try to defend?
Oh, Jojo teleports in. Driver looking for that flank position once again. The singularity out from Jojo will hold the wave for now. Breath of Light as well to try and clear out some of these Baroned up minions. Driver in the mid lane is on that inhibitor. And MKOI aren't trying to defend there. The Infernum almost just wipes them. The Redemption coming down almost takes out Alvaro. But immediately MKOI have to back away. A Moonlight Vigil from Doggo made me think of Aphelios of yesterday.
That was looking like 300 years.
It was just absolutely absurd from the CFO AD carry, now knocking on the Nexus. CFO, just a single kill away, you have to feel, from this best of 5 victory. They'll take down one Nexus tower. Elioya still looking for the flank, but he's marked. Doggo still just waiting for Elioya. The Nexus tower, they can't clear the minions quickly enough, so it's going to fall. All out comes out. There's the falling star. Hostile takeover coming across the side as well as Driver is down. Junja runs to fight his teammates. Runs away from MCOY.
I have no vision, I have no chance, I can't die here or the game will just end. So you have to give up the soul. CFO, moments away, you have to think, from a potential match here with AL. Looking to try to close this one out.
Hook misses. Dominus out from Mirwin. Elioya looking for the flank position. Hostile takeover used as well, but CFO just back away and then reset. Junja going in. Falling Star coming out as they dive onto Doggo, but he cleanses and flashes, and now he's barking. Doggo with the chase in. CFO cleaning up the fight. The Nexus in their eyes. After 13 years of hurt, the light of the LCP shines bright as they claim a best of 5 against a major region.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.